Pressure to perform academically can feel overwhelming, especially during pivotal years like junior year of high school. Take me, for example, Lana. I remember a time when, overwhelmed by external exams and exhaustion, I decided to take a much needed break. But instead of feeling relief, I was consumed by guilt, convinced that I was wasting valuable time. Seeking advice, I turned to someone I trusted, hoping for reassurance. Instead, they urged me to study harder and avoid breaks. A well intended comment that only deepened my self doubt. That moment stuck with me. It made me realize how much fear of falling behind can shape not just our actions, but our entire mindset. And it made me question something we rarely talk about. Why do we feel guilty for resting? In today's fast paced world, taking a break often comes with an unwelcome companion guilt. I know I felt it, and maybe you have too. That nagging worry that pausing for even a moment means losing ground. But where does that feeling come from? A lot of it has to do with the messages we absorb from the world around us. Whether in school, work, or social circles, we're taught that our worth is tied to how much we accomplish. The more we do, the more, the more valuable we are. At least, that's what we're led to believe. But neuroscience and psychology tell a different story. One that proves that breaks aren't just good for us, they're necessary. Our brains aren't wired to function at full speed 24/7. Taking a rest improves focus, boosts creativity, and strengthens our ability to learn. Yet, despite all of this, a lot of us still struggle to give ourselves permission to pause. That guilt we feel when we stop, it runs deep. Society has glorified overwork for so long that we've come to see exhaustion as a badge of honor. I grew up hearing that relentless effort, I grew up hearing that success comes from relentless effort, leaving little room to see rest as something valuable. A 2019 survey by the American Psychological Association on student stress found that those who push themselves without taking breaks experience increased anxiety, exhaustion, and even reduced ability to concentrate. Yet, phrases like winners never rest or you're not trying hard enough are still being thrown around as if they're words of encouragement. But what they actually do is reinforce the idea that working ourselves to the brink is the only way to succeed. That mindset creates a cycle of burnout where we push past our limits for so long that we only end up drained, frustrated, and struggling even more. But the truth is, stepping away from work does not slow progress, it fuels it. External pressures from society, family, or peers can make it even more difficult to shake the guilt around rest. Think about how many people hesitate to take time off even when they desperately need it. A 2017 survey titled Stress in America found that over 60% of American employees avoid using their vacation days because they're afraid of being seen as lazy or replaceable. It's as if the world has convinced us that taking care of ourselves is a weakness. Have you heard about Simone Biles, an Olympic gymnast who has won 7 gold medals? If you haven't, I want you to take a look at this video. After watching the previous clip, you might have thought landing that jump must have taken an incredible numbers of hours of practice. But the truth is, Simone Biles actually chose to step back from the 2021 Olympics in order to take a 2 year break to prioritize her mental health. Some people criticized her, saying that she had let her team down, but others saw her choice as a powerful statement that taking care of your mental well-being is way more important than meeting unrealistic expectations. Her decision serves as a reminder that setting boundaries is not quitting, it's what allows us to keep going. So, how do we break free from the guilt? It starts with shifting how we see rest, not as something we earn, but as something we need, but as something we not as something we earn, but as something we need. One way to change our mindset is through self affirmation. Simple reminders like rest will help me refocus or taking a break makes me more efficient can counter these feelings of guilt. I personally take a 15-minute break after studying for a couple of hours to do something I enjoy, and I always come back with a fresh perspective. That small act of self care isn't wasted time, it's what keeps me going. When we start to view rest as a tool for success rather than an obstacle, everything shifts. The guilt around rest isn't something that we're born with. It's something that we've been taught. And if we have been taught to feel guilty about it, then we can easily unlearn that guilt. Time and time again, we see that rest leads to better performance, stronger mental health, and greater overall success. But to truly embrace that, we need to stop measuring ourselves by how much we produce. Real success isn't about working ourselves into the ground, it's about learning how to work wisely, not just endlessly. So, the next time you feel guilty for taking a break, remind yourself of this: taking a break isn't holding you back, it's what will help you move forward.